Next presenter is going to be Dr., and I apologize ahead of time if I don't get this exactly right, is Dr. Ganpati Chedman. He is the former secretary and past president of the Neurological Society of India. He's a neurosurgeon, adjunct faculty at the IIT Madras Tamil Medical Center and Allen University. Dr. Chedman was the former examiner inspector, or is the former inspector for the National Board of Examiners, Ministry of Health, Government of India. He is a member of the editorial board of 5 international and 3 national journals in neurosciences, and he's been working for the growth and development of telemedicine in India since 1999. Currently, he's the president of Apollo Telemedicine Network Foundation, the largest and the oldest multi-special telemedicine network in southern India. Thank you.
Good morning, everybody. At the outset, I wish to thank the organizers for inviting me to be on this panel, particularly Dr. Sweta Sneha. As one representing 1/6 of humanity, to attempt to outline the opportunities and challenges of global health in 600 seconds, which is what has been given to me, is obviously a daunting task. I'm therefore going to confine myself, to focus myself on one small aspect of global health, which I firmly and passionately believe is absolutely essential to radically transform the way healthcare is delivered in emerging economies, particularly India, and that is information and communication technology. India is indeed a paradox. We can plant a flag on the moon. We can convince NASA that there is water on the moon. Today we have Americans coming to India, not just for knee replacements and hip replacements, but for cardiac transplants and liver transplants. We have had the CEO of Mayo Clinic, Cleveland Clinic, and the president of Johns Hopkins International visit the Apollo group of hospitals to find out how is it we can achieve the same healthcare outcome as done in these econs of healthcare at 70% of the cost. At the same time, these centers of excellence, which are better than the best, which are truly outstanding, why else would 100,000 people come from all over the world to seek medical and surgical treatment in India? Unfortunately, these centers of excellence are like oases in a desert. The vast majority of India still has a long, long way to go to achieve even the minimum standards prescribed by World Health Organizations. We have eradicated polio. We are on the way to controlling tuberculosis and malaria. But unfortunately, as the previous 2 panelists mentioned, non-communicable diseases have not just raised their head, but they are going to be the major problem of the country. Today, diabetes, hypertension, cardiac disease and whatnot is much more a problem than infectious disease. Unfortunately, we have not got many gold medals in the Olympics, but we are the gold medalists so far as diabetes is concerned. We are the undisputed diabetic capital of the world. This enormous complexity of the problem, in my opinion, is exactly what contributes opportunities. You, the people in this auditorium, have an enormous opportunity to save lives, to totally transform the way healthcare is delivered in India, and at the same time make an ROI year by year. And let me explain to you how I think this will be possible. The current annual expenditure on healthcare in India is about US $85 billion and is projected to be $280 billion in just 10 years from now. The government, however, unlike most other governments in the world, contributes only to 22% of this. 78% of healthcare expenditure in India is from the private sector. The GDP, the government contributed as until a year ago 0.9% of India's GDP. But in this 5-year plan, they have increased it to 2%. However, I repeat, 80% of Indian healthcare expenditure is from the private sector, and this opens a great opportunity for entrepreneurs from outside the country to come into India. Recently, India has opened its doors. Health insurance is a major opportunity for people like you. Unfortunately, less than 9% of the Indian population are covered by some sort of health reimbursement. 1% of India's population would be government employees. Another 1% would be employees in the organized sector, which offers health reimbursement. But less than 7% of 1,300 million Indians have health insurance. And I think this is going to be a major opportunity for players outside India to come in. Obviously, 20th century solutions cannot be applied to problems in the second and third decades of the 21st century. We need to look outside the conventional way of thinking. Not only is every sixth human in India, every fifth mobile phone in the world happens to be in India. With 920 million mobile phones, we see no reason why the mobile phone cannot be converted into a hospital in your pocket, a laboratory in your pocket, a doctor in your pocket. M-Health, M-Banking, M-Entertainment, M-Commerce. These are not just words we used to read about in Western literature. This is happening today. India is indeed a paradox. Somebody earns $100 a month, but he's prepared to spend $5 a month so that he can watch Tendulkar hit a 4 or a 6 on his mobile phone. Today, we have 60 television channels which can be seen on your mobile phone. And who subscribe to it? Not the elite living in urban India, but the so-called rural masses who spend a major part of their income on this. So we are convinced that the future of healthcare is not just telemedicine, e-health and digital health, but we are going one step further, namely mobile health. It is a Nobel laureate, Mohammad Yunus, who very beautifully remarked, the best way to solve poverty in the world is to give a mobile phone each. The greatest advantage which India has now is we no longer have to follow you. We no longer have to piggyback on you, which is what we were doing until about 10 or 15 years ago. Ladies and gentlemen, today we are in a stage where we can leapfrog. We do not have to disinherit legacy systems so far as ICT in healthcare is concerned. In fact, pardon my arrogance, I really think, as Lord Nigel Crisp, the CEO of NHS, remarked in his book, Turning the World Upside Down, he mentioned that the United Kingdom need to learn how healthcare is delivered from India. So this is what is really happening. I would like to spend a minute or two talking about the Apollo healthcare system, just to give you an idea. Remove the word Apollo, substitute it with Fortis, Max, several other companies, and you will have an idea. This is not a sales pitch about Apollo Hospital, but just to tell you what is happening in the field of global healthcare. We started 30 years ago. Today we have 54 hospitals, we have 9,500 beds, we have 70,000 employees, and we have treated 32 million patients so far, which I think roughly is equal to 12% of the population of the United States of America. That is what one single hospital group has treated. We have done the world's largest preventive healthcare checkups, 7.5 million. 125,000 open heart surgeries with an outcome with a mortality of 0.5%, a 99.5% success rate. Again, we have done, it's all in thousands. The Johns Hopkins recently agreed that the Apollo group happens to be the world's single largest group so far as transplants are concerned. We have done more than 1,200 liver transplants, about 3,000 kidney transplants, and so on and so forth. I'm just trying to tell you the magnitude of the numbers, the sheer number game. Again, coming to Apollo telemedicine, which is my passion and my specific specialty now, we have done about 75,000 teleconsultations in 25 different specialties in the last 10 years. Again, we try to be innovative. We do not have 10 Mbps, we do not have 100 Mbps. So we manage with very, very low bandwidth. And again, we firmly believe that the future of healthcare is not diagnosis and treatment. If I were the Health Minister of India, I wouldn't be spending money on building state-of-the-art hospitals. I would be promoting knowledge empowerment, e-wellness. Today, with multi-point video conferencing, we have already started pilot projects. I can tell the people, look, these are the early symptoms and signs. Why should I do a coronary bypass surgery, which could have been prevented in the first stage? I could go on and on. But ultimately, I'm frustrated, I'm very unhappy because I feel we have still not reached that critical mass essential for a takeoff. 10 years we have spent on ICT and technology and healthcare. People are becoming aware of it. To me, the stumbling block is not technology. My colleagues, like people from Wipro, people from the American Telemedicine Association, etc., they're all brilliant. They will solve every single technological issue. You know about Wi-Fi, you know about WiMAX, but what we are hypocrites. What we don't like to discuss in a public forum is what I call YFM. And what is YFM? What is in it for me? WIIIFM. What is in it for me? At the end of the day, unless every single stakeholder in the healthcare ecosystem has something in it for him, whether it is votes for a politician by introducing excellent healthcare for his people, whether it is publishing papers, presenting papers, whether it is just sheer money or for the chief financial officer and ROI, it is this which has to be addressed to. A business model needs to be developed, and I think this is a great area for collaboration between the United States of America, and I'm particularly thankful to the organizers for inviting a medical doctor, a neurosurgeon, somebody who knows nothing about ROI, somebody who knows absolutely nothing about legal issues, business issues, etc. But just to tell you, we will welcome you with open arms, and believe me, 1,300 million people, I think it's a reasonable market for you to be interested in. Thank you.